All right, a new video. I guess it's part 3. This lawnmower's been sitting for 2 days. Just a quick review. When I brought it in, it was completely covered with oil and goo. The carburetor was had no filter. There was absolutely no oil in the engine. It had maybe 1/8 of an inch, so that wasn't even enough for the oil dipper to sling the oil around. And after circulating it with my drill quite a few times, we actually managed to, or us, actually managed to maintain a little bit of compression. I squirted some lubricant on the valves and got them going, and it actually was making a puffing sound with my finger when I held it over the spark plug hole. So now, 2 days after it's been sitting, we're going to see if it starts. If it doesn't start, it could be the fact that this primer bulb is old, but it still just might start. And one more thing is I turned my garage down at night. It was 38 degrees in here last night, which is about 3 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's do this. Switch. On. There's no brake on this one, right? You guys know the story of that. And I give them lots. These little air pumps are not as good as the actual ones that pump the raw gas. Okay, let's see what we got. Alright, it just doesn't get any better than that. That was not rehearsed in any way, shape, or form. So it runs. Oh my. So here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to take you back outside and I've got an idea. Okay, right there is the bag for the one that's in the garage that just started. But this carcass is what I call it, is a much better carcass. It was just sitting over there all winter. You can see the crud, but that's nothing. It still has a cable and a bail, but it's held on with a clamp. And I think this is the one that came off with the autopsy. So I'm going to pull this out and we're going to see if we can use this, the whole thing. The bag, the frame, except for the cable. We'll use this on the new mower, or our new old beater. It's in way better condition than it looks, guys. Let's just take the bag off. Bag's not worn out. And we'll wipe it off, blow it off, and I think we're going to use this. I just have to measure the distance for the shaft length to make sure it's the same motor. So just give me a minute on that. Okay, we're in the garage. And a straight edge across. To the flange of the belt, or whatever, the flange of the belt, 5 1/4 to 5 1/2 inches. Five and a half. So walk this way. I got the rags out just in case we're going to be cleaning. Okay. Yes, this one's in much better condition. I think it's the same. Oh, 4 1/2. Well, that's kind of interesting. This one is a smaller motor. That's a big deal. 4 1/4. I better go back check that other one. That's why you just don't swap motors, guys. 4 1/2 to the flange and 3 3 1/4 to the dip and 4 1/4 to the flange. I'll make sure about that. Alright. I'll let you know. I can't do it. There's an inch difference. That means the blade will be sticking out past the bottom of the engine. And if you look here, pardon me guys, if you look here, just on a rough guess, it's about 2 1/4 inches from the bottom here to the top of there. I'll walk this way. And here, it's 1 1/4 inches. That's the inch we're missing right there. The other mower has a taller flange, but it's got better tires. So we'll see if we can steal those. Interesting. Alright, this is the original bag. It's not the right one. So we'll take it off. We have a gap here, right here. But being an MTD, I'm hoping that this one will just clip on. Yes. That's the right bag. So now it's just the wheels. Let's get it up on the lift. Enough of this bending over. Now I've got a box of wheels, but these ones are here. Let's just take one in and see what we got. This is the worst one. And I don't know if it's the wheel or the actual shaft that's worn out. On the wheel I took off, the bolt comes off, eh? It's 2 different sets. It's 2 different types. So this might not even fit. So let's get that wheel off of there. Oh, we'll do this one. Oops, you're looking at the wrong way. Okay. Took the bolt off, took the tire off. Well, that's going to work. It's much better. Although I don't know how tight that is. So this one's the original one. That's pretty bad, huh? And this is the one we just pirated. I think it's going to work. Let's just put the bolt on, because sometimes the bolt rubs when you tighten them up. It's a lot better. This is my new alley mower. So let's just do the other side. We'll go get the other wheels off that carcass. So I think doesn't really matter which one's which, does it? Okay. Those were 3/4 inch and on the old carcass, and the new one are 9/16. So we'll just turn you around. Good. Take the old one off. These are probably Craftsman, eh? Although Craftsman MTD makes mowers for Craftsman. And I guess we should give it a squirt of oil on that shaft. Oh, backwards. That's much better. So now I think the only thing left for me to do on this lawnmower is to find a couple of cotter pins for the handle and change the primer bulb. And sometimes that doesn't work as good as you'd think. I'll be back in just a shake. One more small thing. These wheels are splayed out just a little bit. I'm not a believer in bending them, but sometimes that's all you've got left in your arsenal. That one's the worst one. There. So now we're going to work on that primer bulb. Lights. Camera. Action. Okay, we're going to dig this. This is pretty bad. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, interesting. I'm surprised it's running as good as it is. You see that? You smell that? Apocalypse now. Alright. Gonna dig this out with a pick. There's gonna be a little ring in there, like this. We're gonna dig that out. There's no real pretty way to do it, but if you've got a pointy do-hummer like this, you can dig it out. Come on. Okay, we'll tear that off. Now we can find a hole. It's coming. There it is. And there's really no pretty way to get that off. Now we have to get the rest of that rubber thing out of there. Give it a wash. Okay, Road King. You're not alone, buddy. I've had this for 10 years, but it is probably as old as me, 35. So, I don't know if I showed you this, but the little tab, I'm using an 18mm socket, and the little tabs should just extend past the edge of the socket so they flow into the recession here. Might need a bigger hammer. Now, I'm going to use a screwdriver to just adjust the tabs, because you can damage them easily. There. I just tap them in a little bit with a screwdriver. So my experience with these is you just don't tap them in. You got to just take it a little easier than you'd think. Okay. So now we just need some cotter pins or something for the handle. And I think we're done this job. Oh no, we're not. We have to do I have a confession. When I got this old guy running, it was old oil. So we have to get the handlebars connected, get the oil changed and the blade sharpened. Okay, there are all kinds of little things on an old mower, eh? Just look at this. This arm comes down and then it bends out, right? So we're gonna straighten that. Might as well. No time like the present. Spend 5 hours on a $20 lawnmower. It's still not great. Huh. Has the other one done the same thing? No, it hasn't. It's just this one. Okay, let's get it right off there. And we'll use a vise. Or, yeah, that is. Now we can put some oomph on it. Put some pepper on it. I don't know what side was up and what side was down now. I guess it really doesn't matter, does it? Good. Are they both good? Yes, they're both true. That's woo-woo. No, I got these off the old lawnmower. One, I'll just reach over it. Two. There. So now, what else is left? All right, let's get it off of here. See if the track's any better. It wants to turn left. That's not a problem. Okay, let's see how it starts. It should start even better than it did before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's how many we'll give her. I'm going to let it warm up and then we'll change the oil. All right. So you know that these front holes are galled out. So I took the cover off because I did have a stripped bolt at the back. I'll show you that in a second. And we're just going to reattach these with a slightly larger washer than I used last time. Okay, you guys watching this? I'm going to try and tap a 5/16 into this 1/4 inch hole. In and out slowly. One more. I don't want to go too deep. I should do it. Okay, a little 5-inch bolt. 5/8 inch bolt. Everything's hot still, don't hurt yourself. I guess I don't need the extension. These are all the little things if you want things to go right, eh? It's getting a little stiff. I might just get a big washer on that. It's definitely threading. I don't want to thread into the block or split anything, right? I know it never stops, eh? There. So that one's a quarter, and that one's a 5/16. Now, let's put this back together if we can. You watching or are you not watching? I got you set up, you might as well watch. Good. Where's the other one? Good. And then the 5/16 on the fronts. And we should be home free now to change the oil. Gosh, the things you get yourself into, when you want it to be right. Oh gosh. I should be working on the stand too, I know. Good. Okay. Now just gonna change the oil. Okay, next step. Amazing. I just use this to get the blade off. Blade looks okay. Amazing. Let's get the oil out. 3/8 socket. I think I can use just a some kind of a guy like this. Let's just say 1 liter. So, all right. Probably been 5 years since this was off. You guys getting any of this? Not really, huh? Okay, we're taking the bolt plug out of the mower. And come on. Ooh. And we're almost there. And this blade's not that bad. Just a little rough, right? So I'm just going to sharpen that. All right, first of all, we're going to brush the dirt, the grass off this. Now we'll sharpen it. This was a big job for a lawnmower that wasn't worth an hour's labor. Eh? I gotta get hearing protection. Now that I haven't got much hearing left, or vision, or hands, I'm putting on my gloves and putting on eye protection and putting on ear protection. Pardon me, tubes. Friends. I don't have to call. Some guys don't like it when I say tubes. That's an old thing. All right. All right, the blade is on. Guess I better show you. The plug's in. And now we're going to stick some oil in it. Half of a liter, as this is a Tecumseh 4 horsepower. I apologize, my battery died. So now we're gonna, the blade is now on, the oil is in, and we're gonna just take her off the stand. And I think we'll start it up one more time. Yes, back door's open. Let's get some more light on the subject. There, that should help a little. Ooh. All right. I think we're done this job. Bag looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On. Finito. Wow, 3 videos on an old lawnmower. Thanks, guys.